I know first and foremost, your top concern are your crew members and the ships that you have there and their safety. But we do want to talk about logistics. So overall, give us a sense, paint a picture to us of the logistics situation right now, the delays, and what does this mean for consumers in Europe and also here in the U.S.?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think the added complexity that we're dealing with is somewhat similar to what we faced back in 2021 with the blockage in Suez Canal, meaning that vessels have started to be routed down through the south, Cape of Good Hope, adding between 7 to 10 days additional for transshipments from Asia into Europe. That, of course, means that we will have a number of delays of vessels coming into Europe, and of course, cargo that was expected a week ago would then be delayed. The added complexity to this is, of course, that the vessel needs to return also through the south, meaning that we're looking at a delay of equipment return, both vessels as well as containers, of around 20 days, which we haven't really seen the true ripple effect of in terms of equipment unavailability in Asia.
Yeah, you mentioned that we haven't seen the true impact just yet. I speak to a lot of your colleagues at DHL, but other people in the supply chain. And I'm hearing a lot of people say what you're saying right now is that we don't really know the full impact. So one thing I do want to point out, and something a lot of people talk about, is the increase in rates. So, for example, the Asia or China to U.S. West Coast shipping lane, we've seen those rates increase pretty substantially, up about 35%. But right now, it's also the weeks leading in to Lunar New Year, a time when rates rise seasonally. So give us a sense. How much of these increases we're seeing, how much is it due to Lunar New Year? How much is it due to the disruptions that we're seeing in the Red Sea?
I think it's a bit of both. Obviously, Chinese New Year will always be the number one peak season for shipping. And with the lack of equipment availability coming into weeks 4 to 6, we will see a spike going into the Chinese New Year. What that then looks like past Chinese New Year is then the question mark, whether or not the peak will remain. I think most customers will try and fast forward their supply chains, ensuring that they actually have goods to be sold on the shelves, which effectively means that we will see hopefully a stronger period past Chinese New Year on shipping out of Asia.
Right.
The ripple effect of this can, of course, also spill into other trades. Right now, we have only seen an impact on the European and the U.S. trade. U.S. trade predominantly driven by the Panama Canal lack of water, which we're seeing slight improvements of at the moment, which means that part of the volume that is currently being routed through Suez into East Coast will very likely come back through the Panama Canal. But as equipment is going to be a topic for the future, we will likely see that the spread of other trades in terms of rate levels rising is high.
All right. So, Casper, you're saying equipment, but one of the pieces of equipment you're really talking about are containers. And for the audience,
Correct.
Containers are how most consumer goods come to the U.S. and come to Europe. They're made in Asia or other parts of the world. And then you put them in a container, and then they go on the ship that way. Give us
Correct.
a sense. Give us a picture of the container situation right now. With these delays and these ships taking longer trips, is there going to be a shortage of containers, and how does that play out past Lunar New Year?
There will very likely be a container equipment issue. The vessels that are delayed in coming back from Europe will, of course, have an impact on the equipment, i.e. the container availability in Asia. That's what we saw during the pandemic, and of course, during the Ever Given situation, was that equipment not coming back immediately had an impact on other trades. Not just Asia-Europe, but also the Oceania trades, etc. They were all impacted because, of course, equipment, i.e. the container, can go anywhere in the world.